Who do we have here?
Welcome back, Furiosa, one of my favorite movies. In this tutorial, we are going to create a poster for it, this one. Because Furiosa is one of my favorites, so I will show you one of my favorite technique. It's an epic one. Be ready for it in the last step. Step number 1, let's create the background. In our design, we need a texture as a background, and I will use this one, a texture of paper. But we need to do some preparation before importing it into the project. At first, make it selected and go to Filter and enable the Camera Raw filter. I really hope that you've watched my previous techniques about Camera Raw filter. I told you everything about all of options right here, and you will know anything about it when you watch my previous technique. If you didn't watch it, all you need to do is to click on the right corner link. Now, change the profile to monochrome, and we need more detail of the texture, so we will go to light and we will reduce the exposure to something like this one. Now the details are okay, and press on OK, and let's import it to the project. Let's move on. Click on it and convert it into a smart object. After that, come here and click on FX. Now go to Gradient Overlay. Blend mode is multiply, opacity 91%, and the gradient is this one in Grace folder. Style is radial, angle doesn't matter because of the style, and scale is 100%. Now press on OK. Our texture in background is ready, but we need another layer for completing the background. So, create a new layer. Now you need to enable the brush, and before going for the brush, we need to set the color. Our project color is this one, 50 in hue, 100% saturation, and 100% brightness. If you want the code, it's FFD 400. I will use a special brush that I've just imported to my collection. If you don't have it, all you need to do is to reading the description of this video. Now let me increase the size and click on the background. No, the angle should be changed, and something like this one is better. So the background is completed. Step number 2. Let's bring the Furiosa into the project. I will use this image of Furiosa. And as you know, I've already removed the background. If you don't know how to, you need to watch my previous techniques. I have already made a short video for it. So, all I need to do is to convert it into a smart object. And now I will import it into the project. Furiosa is here, so make it selected, go to Filter and click on Camera Raw filter. Change the profile to monochrome, and when your profile is set to the monochrome, you can just click on Auto because the only option is a light. Now press on OK. Furiosa is ready, but it needs some effect. At first, zoom in and create another layer. Now enable the brush. The size of brush is 123 and the hardness is 0%. Now you need to brush on the eyes of Furiosa. Now enable the eraser and reduce the hardness to the minimum, and I will correct my brush. Okay, the brush is ready. Now all we need to do is to change the blend mode. Change it to overlay and make a duplicate of it. Right click on it and click on duplicating layer and press on OK. And now the Furiosa eyes are changed to the yellow color. Now let's create one more effect and we're done in image. At first, create a new layer. Enable the brush but the size should be increased, and no, it should be much more bigger. Something like this size is okay. Click on your screen and hold Shift and one more time click to create something like this. Now, take it down and change the blending mode to overlay and reduce the opacity to, let me reduce it more, and something like 20% is okay. So step number 2 is done. Step number 3, it's time for text and it's time for an epic technique. At first, make your type tool enabled and click on your screen and write something. Now, when it's ready, apply your changes and press Ctrl T. Now change the position of it and increase the size. Something like this one is okay. Yeah, it's okay. Now apply the changes. And we don't need some spaces like here between our words. So go to your text setting. If you don't know how to go there, all you need to enable the type tool, and when the text is selected, come here and click on this icon. Now let us decrease the space between our words. Something like this is okay, but now we need to increase the font size and let us give it some space. Now it's perfect, and let's go for effects. Before going for applying the effect on our text, we need an image like this and a splash of water, and all we need to do is to make it selected, going to effects and enable the color overlay, and our color should be darker from the project color. All you need to do is to reduce the hue, and something like this one is okay. Now it's ready for the effects. Our effect image has been imported to the project, so let's adjust it with our text. When it's set, we need to create a layer mask that our image would be affected only on the areas of our text. So, at first, make it selected. Now press and hold Ctrl and click on the thumbnail of your text. Now, when the layer of our image is selected, come here and press on adding a layer mask. And the blend mode should be linear burn. Now let's create more text. Enable the type tool and come here. I will write 2024 because of the year of Furiosa, and I will write good movies because it's a very good movie. Now we need to change the position of these two texts.
A few moments later.
Now let's apply our dirt effect in these two texts again. At first we need this image, so make it selected, press Ctrl J together for creating a duplicate, and now delete the layer mask. And let's adjust it with our text. Now we need to apply a layer mask, but it should be suitable for these two texts, 2024 and good movies. Before adjusting a layer mask, let me give it some distance before 2024 and good movies. Now it's better. So, when your layer is selected, create a layer mask and make sure that your foreground and background color is set to black and white. Now, when the layer is selected, press Alt and Shift together. Now we need to disable the layer mask in these two areas. At first, make it selected by press and holding the Ctrl key on your keyboard. Now click on the thumbnail of 2024, come to the new layer mask and press Ctrl and backspace together. Now, for the next one, press and hold Ctrl, click on Good Movies, and when the area is selected, come to the new layer mask and press Ctrl and backspace one more time. Now, let's bring it on to the front. And as you can see, our effect has been enabled in these two areas. Now, the blend mode is a linear pattern. Now it's time for the epic technique. We are going to create an incredible effect for this text, Furiosa. At first, make it selected and create 3 duplicated layers. Press Ctrl J, Ctrl J, and Ctrl J. Now we have 3 duplicated layers. Go to the first one. Enable the drop shadow. Blend mode, multiply. The color is our project color, but it has been reduced in brightness, 40%. Press on OK. Opacity 100%, angle 60 degree, distance 30 pixel. And following options are like this. Press on OK. Now, for the second layer, enable the drop shadow. Blend mode, multiply. The color, it's the same with the project color, but the brightness has been increased to 60%. Press on OK, and the distance should be changed to 20 pixel, but the following options are the same with the previous layer. Now, for the third duplicated layer, go to drop shadow, and as you can see, the following options are like this. All I did was to change the distance to 10 pixel, and the color should be changed in brightness, 80%. Now press on OK. So we need to create 3 new layers and merge each new layer with each one of the duplicated layer. I will do it very quick. Now we need to place the layers in order. At first, this layer should be the last layer, and this layer should be the first one. Let me show you how it's done. The first layer is the second one in order. The first layer. The second one is the third one. And the last layer is the fourth layer in the duplicated one. And just like this, you've just learned an epic technique in Photoshop. The last piece of our design is in this area. We need to create 2 backgrounds for these 2 texts so they would be visible more clearly. At first, create a new layer. Enable the brush. The brush size should be 100 pixel and the hardness should be increased to the maximum. The color doesn't matter because we are going to apply a gradient on this layer. I need to increase the size something like this and press, hold shift and create something like this. Now I will reduce the size and do it one more time for good movie. Now let's bring it here and open the effects and click on gradient overlay. Now the gradient should be normal and opacity 100%, and the gradient that I'm using is this one in Grace folder, and the style is a angle doesn't matter because of the style, and the scale is 100%. Now press on OK and you've just finished another design in Photoshop. Well done! The tutorial is finished and you've learned more techniques in Photoshop. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and share this video with your friends. Stay in communication with me in comments. I really like to know what was your opinion about this design. Now you will see the final result.
Sir, that's how to work. Bye.